Everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented artist, fashion designer, painter, and host of Garyk Lee Style TV. Hello and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's been a bumpy start, but that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have got to tell everybody out there, Garyk Lee and Tony are our closest and dearest friends. They're like brothers. And you have got to go to, no, you can't, but they have got to photograph their home one day because Garyk absolutely went crazy. It's like an artist exploded in the house. Everywhere you look, there's a beautiful piece of something, a palm tree they made into a woman, or a gorgeous painting, or a wonderful 1956 Cadillac in front of a mid-century home. I mean, everywhere you look, it's just outstandingly talented. And this man, who I love dearly, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. This man who I love to death, I really do love him, and I don't say that about most people. I hate most people. But he is such a talent. About 100 years ago, I went to a fashion show in Seven Lakes that Garyk had. And one after another, these evening gowns were so reminiscent of the work of my very sweet dear best friend, Richard Blackwell. And Blackwell met Garyk, and I'm going to let Garyk tell you what Blackwell said about his collection.
Right. Well, I got to meet Richard Blackwell when I was on a television show back in the 80s in Los Angeles, and he was the other guest, and he went on first. But we got to actually meet in the green room, and I had a beautiful model there, and she was wearing one of my couture suits and hat, and he got up from his seat. We hadn't actually met. He got up from his seat and went over and adjusted her hat. And right then I thought, oh no, I was pretty scared. Like, what's he going to say about my design when he's on TV? Well, as soon as he got on, he started really boasting about it and telling the audience how it reminded him of his old Hollywood days, and compared me to Adrian, who was Joan Crawford's designer. And so I was just kind of stunned. And then I went on next, and I was kind of speechless. I expected to be kind of raked over the coals, but instead he loved what I did, and he always would praise me on either live at a fashion show or on the Beverly Hills Courier paper that he wrote for. So it was really wonderful. And so I met him several times, but then the highlight was several years, well, actually it was probably about almost 20 years later, maybe 16 or 17 years later. Ron, you had a dinner party with just he and Spencer, and you invited Tony and myself. And it was so wonderful to see him after all those years. And he pulled out an index card from his blazer inside pocket and wrote, "Finish your quest. A talent like this must go on." And that just really made my day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool, because I had a lot of ups and downs in the fashion industry. As you know, it's up and down due to the economy. It's one of the first businesses that really suffers when the economy suffers, and I had that experience. Yeah.
And Blackwell was, no bullshit, my best friend, my dearest friend. We saw each other constantly.
So tell people who he is.
Richard Blackwell is the worst 10 dress list guy.
Best and worst.
Best and worst. He was a couture designer. He dressed Audrey Hepburn, Grace Kelly, a group of other movie stars. He was a stunningly elegant man who was sophisticated and so well-spoken.
Right.
Then he'd come to my house with sneakers, dungarees, and a beer, cursing, because he's from Brooklyn and he's a Jew and an Italian like me. So we had a lot in common. And we would sit around, drinking beer, swearing and dishing everybody. And I said to Richard, I said, could you imagine if the public ever saw us like this? He'd said, oh, fuck them. So that was Richard Blackwell.
We have to do some introductions. First of all, we have a chat room filled with people. So say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hello, everyone in the chat room. And I see someone that I especially have gotten to know through Facebook, and that's B, and she is such a lovely gal.
We love
B. Sweet gal.
Yes, you always got to say hi to B.
We love B.
And also Meg is in the chat room.
Oh, Meg too? Oh, cool.
Wait,
Hey, Meg.
B is in Germany. Meg is in Ohio.
And they both want to get your art, and they both love you.
Wait, hang on. Meg, I promise I'll call you. We're on our way to LA right after the show. I will call you in about 20 minutes. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you, but we're fine. The earthquake was just a big media bullshit story. It was nothing. The house shook a little.
Going back. Anyway, you guys, first of all, you guys can follow Garyk on Twitter. He's at Garyk Lee Style TV. His website is garyklee.com. And if you go to his website, which is a phenomenal website, you can see his fashion, his architectural and interior design, his commissioned
which
art.
Which are fabulous.
He does lifestyle and product design. If you want to come out with like a new perfume or a new some kind of something, like he can help
you.
You
need a bottle design or any kind of a label design. He's the one.
And he's got also this awesome artwork. It's called Fashion Fused Architecture in Retro Palm Springs, and it's a whole series of artwork that's phenomenal. Actually, tell us a little bit about that.
Wait. He's also got a card.
Yeah. The artwork. I always enjoyed doing so many different avenues of art, from fashion to interior, and so most recently I decided I need to like really get into my rendering and drawing again, and I was asked to do live painting for a charity out here, and what I did was I did a mid-century house, and everyone loved it, and it went really high. It was bid on for an auction for the charity, and so I thought, wow, that's probably something I should think about doing, is my architectural renderings and doing mid-century homes, but then putting my fashion people that I love to do into the scene, and just making kind of a vignette out of the house. So I've done both interior views and exterior views by the pool. My most recent one's called Party Under the
Hang on. Let me interrupt you. Hang on. Get somebody to go get one of your pieces and let's see them. Talk is cheap. Let's see. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Somebody in the room.
Soren, go back there and grab one of his his
wonderful.
Soren, can you go into that storage room? I think on top to the left you'll see one of my little prints on the shelf.
And we're proud.
And you guys can go to GarykLee.com also, and you can hit it.
Jimmy and I are so proud to have his work in our house. Of course, Jimmy confiscated it and put it in his office.
Oh, wow.
I never got a chance to put it in the house, but you know.
That's okay.
Jimmy thinks it was.
And this is a perfect time to introduce Soren. Bend down,
Soren.
look in the camera.
Look in the camera.
Hey,
hi,
guys.
Soren. How are you,
This is my
baby?
wonderful assistant, Soren, that basically helps me do everything. And he also, I recruit him into being an actor in my Garyk Lee Style TV show as well. So he does everything from help me with graphics and so this is something that I was just telling you about.
Tilt it so the glare it doesn't glare. Tilt it so it doesn't glare. It's glaring. There's light reflecting off the plastic.
Well, it's going to glare because it's got plastic on it.
Yeah, well, sort of tilt it so it doesn't.
No, it's fine. They get an idea.
Can you see
that? Pull it back some.
That's a mid-century house with a 1950s vintage car and very chic people. This would
very
make
chic people.
This would. I said very chic.
Yes, that's what he said.
Oh, well, I use old-fashioned words. Anyway, this would look lovely, one of these in your home if you are mid-century, in the foyer, because the minute your guests arrive, they get the feeling that they're in a mid.
Thanks, Soren.
Shut up! I'm plugging your fucking picture. If you hang it in the foyer, the guests will come in and get the mood of the house, because Garyk's picture will introduce you to the 1950s mid-century.
There you go. You got everybody go to GarykLee.com.
Now, one more thing I want to say, and then you can take the floor because I'm tired. It's been a long day of bullshit. His lover, his husband, Tony, is a dreamboat. He is one of the sweetest, nicest people in the world. I adore him. Another Guinea from Brooklyn like me.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
And we get along real fine. And Tony can cook Italian like nobody's business.
And
so
then,
you heard. Wait, you heard.
When we're together, the four of us, then Jimmy and I just look at Tony and Ron and shake our heads like, what are these two New Yorkers talking about?
That's right.
We have secrets of our past. But anyway, when we were talking to Bobby Eakes, you heard me say that Tony's a great cook. And I cook pretty good. I used to. Not so much now. No, now that I'm getting old, I forget. I don't add, I burn.
And then you like to have a few cocktails.
And a
then you
couple of
forget it's in the
cocktails,
oven.
and then everything is on fire. But
That
yeah,
always works.
yeah, but that's fun. Okay, now let me get back to my buddy, girlfriend, Loretta Christians.
No, wait. No, not yet.
We're not doing Simpsons.
We're gonna
I
talk
can't
about
wait.
her.
I can't wait to talk about
so,
that.
Wait,
fucking
I know,
bitch.
but she's coming on the show, and so
That
it's different.
bitch.
Right now, instead of talking about Loretta, who is a part and one of the fabulous cast members of Garyk Lee Style TV,
Who I love.
Garyk Lee's new TV show. We've got 8 episodes, I think we have. Do we have 8?
I think it's there's probably a total of actually 9, I believe.
Okay, so we got 9 episodes.
One episode you must put Pampers on because he sings opera.
Hang on.
She does. Loretta sings opera.
Oh, we wanna explain her.
Wear Pampers.
So hang on, everybody. So if you go to YouTube and you type in Garyk Lee Style TV, you can find his brand new show. It's basically like
Hilarious.
a home improvement.
Hilarious.
Actually, tell them what Garyk Lee Style TV is, because all of them don't have Loretta and stuff.
It's a home improvement show, but it kind of got hijacked by Loretta Christians. I created this character very late in 2018 and decided that she needs to interview Garyk, and she needs to be totally the opposite. Like, she's very homophobic.
Interruption. This is Garyk in drag, by the way, as Loretta.
Right. And I pulled this character from seeing so many women growing up in Oklahoma and Texas that, they had the heavy makeup and the big hair, and they were just very animated. And, they viewed themselves as just truly fine Christian women, but they were really, they had blinders on. They lived in a bubble. And so I wanted to create this lady that came to me to interview me, and I didn't even know it. First off, I have an animated character called Fasciana that's my assistant, which is, crazy enough anyway that I have an animated assistant. But the animated assistant booked this interview unbeknownst to me, and so this woman shows up at my house to interview me, and she's completely homophobic, and she's created a gay spray that she sprays at gay people to make the gay go away, spray away the gay. It's really crazy. So she became so popular, everyone wants to see her, and people want her to interview them through Loretta. They want to be interviewed by Loretta. So my latest one, I interviewed this lovely opera couple from New York that they're regular at the Met. She's been performing there for quite a few years, and he just retired recently, and he instructs all over the world. He flies everywhere to instruct opera singers, and they even Skype in for lessons. But they came to Palm Springs and they heard about this and they wanted to be interviewed. So that's my latest one, and it's really quite funny because I had Loretta decide to perform opera for them. So it was pretty funny. You can catch that as my latest one.
He viewed it for all of us at a pool party he had, and I was on the sofa. I couldn't stop breathing from laughter. I mean, he is absolutely demented. I must tell you, she is a demented human being.
What's really cool is I'm so lucky. I have this lovely lady in my life, and her name is Shirley Claire, and she's 91, and you may have seen her on America's Got Talent or on the VMA Awards with Miley Cyrus. She was in one of her music videos, and she was one of the original girls in The Music Man, the Pick a Little, Talk a Little.
And the Follies in Palm Springs.
The Follies in Palm Springs. Well, she's now playing Loretta's Aunt Shirley Claire. And I just barely introduced her, but oh my gosh, I have all kinds of fun things waiting with her character. And so anyway, Garyk is always frustrated because he never really gets to finish his how-to show now because it's all about Loretta. She takes over and she airs her Loretta Christians talk show through his YouTube channel without him knowing it. She always sneaks into his house when he's not there. And she's teamed up with Fasciana, the assistant. And so
let's tell people about that. First of all, you guys, so it's Garyk Lee Style TV on YouTube. If you watch the very first episode, it's phenomenal because he actually really did redo his house and his kitchen and everything, and it shows everything that they did in it.
And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Every week he introduces new people. One of the celebrities that's been in the shows are Bobby Eakes, who we just had on the show earlier, and she's in a bunch of episodes that are fantastic. Yes. Loretta Christians, he does have an animated character who lives in one of the houses of his drawings, like the one we saw with you, and she lives in it and she showers in it. I mean, it's really great what they've done.
And the assistant is performed by Chris Bennett,
yes,
the recording artist.
Grammy-nominated singer Chris Bennett plays Fasciana, and he's had Bobby Eakes, he has Shirley Claire. I mean, he has all.
And
the,
I think she's going to.
And we did Sean Kanan. We interviewed him for his book, The Success Factor X.
Am I right that she's going to interview me?
I thought you were going to interview her, but I think it would be fun for Loretta to interview you.
I love her.
We can do both. That way you can get him back.
No, but I love it. Listen, I forgive Loretta for sleeping all those years with Donald Trump and having his illegitimate child. I forgave her for that. Really, I mean, she was lost in space.
So her name is Loretta Christians.
Sin, because she's a sin.
And when you watch Garyk do it, he's phenomenal. He's
now let me just say something. I have been around drag all my life. I performed for 43 years as Jane Russell on stage, singing and doing jokes, stand-up comedy. I have been around the best drag there is. When I heard about this, I thought, oh, well, now he's going to make a schmuck of himself and a fool of himself. But what are you going to do? Shut your mouth, big mouth, and don't hurt his feelings. Well, after I saw Loretta, I simply said to him, I adore her. I love your character. I love the way you look, the way you roll the eyes, the way you just can't even walk. I mean,
roll the eyes is the really
I don't know
good
what
one.
it is that I fell in love with Loretta, but and I've known drag queens like Candy Kane and Charles Pierce, all the great ones, and I have to tell you, Loretta, out of all of them, is my favorite drag person.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Well,
it's the truth. It's the truth.
Thank you. Well, growing up and watching the Carol Burnett show and Flip Wilson and just all of the men that would do runoffs of characters, I just thought it was so funny. So I wanted to do a character that was just like over the top and not so much drag queen, but more just real to life, but over animated, like those Southern women are. Called
camp drag.
Right.
There's a difference. Loretta is camp drag. Don't expect to see some overpainted clown queen. This is like a regular lady who would come from Texas or somewhere. And
it could be like your next door neighbor.
Yeah,
right,
and although she was lovers with Trump, she tries very hard to be normal.
And there's an episode, you guys, where Loretta does a shout out to her favorite fan, her biggest fan, and that is actually, and Ron Russell is the biggest fan, and it is hilarious. She's exercising out in the yard, and she doesn't know Ron's a total fag, and
she's terrible.
It's hilarious. And then she
does spray gay away, which I cry from because I use it now with friends of mine. If they annoy me, I say I'm going to spray gay away.
Spray away the gay.
Spray away the gay.
And then there's an episode called what's the episode with Bobby and
with the dresses
and the dresses
and she
sprayed.
Like
no.
Right,
That's
with what's her name? She's a Lebanese? No, she's a lesbian.
Fashion and Art Casserole, I believe it's called.
Yes, Fashion and Art Casserole, you guys. Where Garyk is remaking a dress for Emmy nominee Bobby Eakes, and they go to the dressmaker who's Lebanese, but Loretta Christians thinks she's a lesbian.
She said,
sprays away
she's
gay,
a lesbian.
And she sprays her in the face, and then they try to sue each other. And so then there's one where Loretta Christiansen's talking to an attorney, trying to get an attorney.
Yeah, she's talking.
And it's called The Call. It is hilarious.
It is funny. But the best is when she sprays her in the eyes with the spray away gag. She's a lesbian. No, she's from Lebanon. She's a lesbian. That was really fun. Anyway, folks, I wait for the show. I can't wait.
Thank you. That means so much to me, Ron. It really does. It keeps me going, though, to hear stuff like that.
Garyk, as you know, I have tons of celebrity friends. Okay, and most.
Well, that's why it's an honor to hear a compliment from you.
And most I never lie to any of them, and some of them I don't even discuss because I don't care much for their work. But when I know somebody does good work and I find it to be good work, I support them because there's too much crap going on in the country and the world today that's not funny. You bring me to laugh. Not too many people do that.
Oh, thank you.
When you were singing opera, you heard me. I was screaming with that face, that fucking face you paint on, and the way you move those eyes and the mouth, and I'm laughing, thinking, folks, watch this show. Trust Ron Russell.
And listen up, you guys.
You're gonna have a good time. It's funny. It's demented. It's queer. It's crazy.
You guys. If you guys like it, everybody go and watch it. See what you think, and if you like it, start tweeting out to NBC SNL that we want Loretta Christians to be a character on Saturday Night Live for the elections.
Absolutely.
Let her interview all the Democrat people and talk to all the Democrat people. Because it would be hilarious.
A riot.
It would. Yeah.
She's offensive, but she's not offensive.
Right. She just gets everything wrong.
No, she's just stupid.
She's stupid.
Misinformed and stupid, and she believes rumor, and she thinks she knows it all, and she thinks she's gorgeous with her hats and her overly made up eyes.
You are a very pretty girl, though. You make a pretty, distinguished older woman.
I told me, look like Ann Baxter.
Well, I don't know about that older part, but I'll take the compliment anyway.
Ann Baxter.
You gotta love that.
Listen, so who are we seeing you tonight? No,
tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
Yes, tomorrow.
Going to the same event.
I will be entertained by Ron on the ride into Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
No, I've changed. I wrote it on Facebook today.
Oh yeah, you've changed.
My friend Teresa in New York got very upset. There was a picture of a husband.
1 minute.
There was a picture of a husband, John, in the pool, and I wrote, "Gee, nice tits, John," because he got very insulted. So now I said, I'm not writing about my friends anymore. Well, he did have these beautiful set of tits. John's old now. He's in his 70s. He grew tits. What do I know?
So everybody listen up. We want you to watch that and check out Garyk Lee Style TV on YouTube. Check out his website. Buy his art. Again, he's an independent artist. He doesn't have big galleries, so buy it. That way he can eat.
And he's got posts. What do you call your cards?
I'm kind of hungry right now.
Oh, wait, Garyk. What do you call your beautiful cards? They're not postcards. They're Christmas. What kind
cards?
They're just blank greeting cards that you can
write. That's the word. His greeting cards, I own a set. They're magnificent. You want to put them in a frame because they're small pieces of the art that he does with the mid-century cars and homes. So I would say to you, buy these cards and do whatever you want with them. Just don't put them in the toilet.
There you go, you guys. Go to GarykLee.com. And everybody, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Soren, you're doing a great job on Garyk Lee Style TV back there. Tell Tony we said hi.
I sure will. He was. I wanted him to say hi, but he had to run out. So we'll catch him maybe when Loretta's on, we'll catch him.
And we'll see you in a few weeks as Loretta. All right.
Okay.
Bye, Garyk. Thanks.
See you tomorrow.
Love you guys. Thanks.
Bye.
All right,
Love
everybody.
you back more.
Sorry for all the technical difficulties, but we still made it through it. It was a fun show. We'll see everybody next week. We've got great guests next week. Danielle, Scotty J, thank you so much for everything you do. Chat room, you guys.
And now you have a better idea how we are with our friends.
And we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a great week. We got to run now to L.A. Bye-bye.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, you guys. Thanks. Danielle. Still there? Hey, Danielle.